Recaps here. Today I will be recapping the movie called The Monster Hunters, Legend of the Guild. Spoilers ahead, relax and enjoy. The movie begins with a group of monster hunters called the Fifth Fleet. They were on a journey to hunt down the most dangerous monster in the world called the Elder Dragon. The group were thinking that the Elder Dragon they are about to kill is no different from the monster they have killed before. As they are busy bragging, a boy called Aiden interrupted them. He tells the group that the monster they are on the hunt for, he has fought with it once, that they literally have no idea how dangerous the monster can be. Aiden narrates his story on how he encountered his first Elder Dragon. 10 years ago, Aiden was just a little boy, living in a small mountain village. The village is so poor to the extent that the people cannot even afford the money needed to go to the closest guild house, to hide themselves from monsters who normally come to this village to create nuisance. One day, a man complains to Aiden that his livestock has gone missing. Hearing that, Aiden suspects it's a monster, and this time, he decides to take the responsibility of finding this monster that has been disturbing their village. He tracked down this monster using its footprints, until an unexpected monster attacks him. The monster is called a velocidrome, a big blue raptor like a bird. Aiden did everything he could to defend himself, but he still couldn't stop the hungry monster from attacking him. As Aiden is about to get eaten by the monster, a monster hunter called Julius rescues him. As Julius is taking Aiden back to the village, he sees the monster footprints Aiden has been tracking, and tells him it was faked. That it's not a monster footprints but the work of a cat-like creature called the Melinx that got him fooled. Aiden knows of this troublesome creature and located its whereabouts, only to find the animal preparing one of the livestock it stole from their village. Suddenly, Aiden angrily carries a hammer, trying to smash it. Until finally, he is able to capture the annoying creature and takes it back to the village to show the monster hunter. Aiden arrives only to be told that they have a much more bigger problem they should be worried about. Julius has just finished informing the village elder about the bad news, and tells Aiden that there is a very powerful dragon coming towards their village called the Elder Dragon. He explains that the dragon energy is so strong to the extent that anywhere it passes, it results to a mass destruction. And the dragon will be passing their village really soon. He tells the villagers to evaluate as soon as possible, otherwise, the village will be destroyed, and they will all die along with it. The villagers doesn't trust the monster hunter and didn't want to believe anything he has just said until suddenly, Aiden suggested that he will go with the monster hunter to see for himself, and if it's true, the villagers must have to evaluate. Soon enough, Aiden and Julius are set to leave. They put all their loads on the cat as punishment for stealing the villagers' livestock. On their way, Aiden is taught how to fight, in order to be a good monster hunter. Later that night, when they are having dinner, they saw a large group of monster running away. As they go to check, they discover that those animals were escaping from the Elder Dragon. This time, Julius tells Aiden to go back to his village and help them evaluate while he will warn the other villagers. But Aiden knows that not all the villagers will make it out in time, and proposes to the monster hunter that instead of them running away they should fight it. Julius doesn't agree to the plan, but as Aiden convinces Julius that monster hunters are not meant to run away from monsters, but are meant to face it. Suddenly Julius agrees to his plan, but first, they have to find more monster hunters that can assist them. Julius shoots a signal flare informing the other hunters of their whereabouts. On their way, they meets with a monster hunter called May, who is in the middle of hunting down a spider-like monster called the Temnoceran. The monster captures Aiden while Julius and May are fighting the monster. After a long fight, May is able to pierce the monster from behind, which kills it instantly. Another monster hunter called Nadia arrives, after seeing the signal flare Julius shot a while ago. Julius informs the hunters of their plan, that they are no longer running away because many villagers can die in the process, but instead, they will stay and fight the monster. Nadia tells Julius that if they're going to fight the Elder Dragon, they will be needing stronger weapons for that. The group then goes to a blacksmith called Ravi. But Ravi isn't interested in helping them because he believes no one can ever kill the Elder Dragon, and dismisses them thereafter. The group then goes back to the village, and Aiden tells the village that what Julius said about the Elder Dragon is true. But this time, they have decided not to run away but instead stay behind and plan how to kill the Elder Dragon in order to save their village. The villagers decides to build traps, in order to stop the Elder Dragon. While Julius is busy training Aiden for the upcoming battle. Nadia suggests to Julius another way to defeat the Elder Dragon, which is by killing a monster called the Kongalala. A large pink hippo-headed monster that is nearby the village. It has a poisonous mushrooms in its tail. As they all gather around and are ready to capture the monster, it finally arrives and they all begin to fight with it, while Aiden sets a trap on where they can capture it. As they lead the monster to the trap, Aiden releases the trap that captures the monster, but it turns out that Aiden forgot to anchor the 4 sides of the trap, making it not strong enough to hold off the trap. Julius senses another huge monster nearby, and tells the group to return to the village because their plan has failed. But Aiden doesn't want to return, but instead he goes back to make up for his mistakes by attempting to take out the poisonous mushroom from the pink monster, so they can use to kill the elder dragon. Suddenly the other monster from the forest arrives and kills the pink monster. And started to attack the rest of them, but in time, Julius is able to use the poisonous mushroom to subdue the monster. Julius is so angry with Aiden for putting their lives at danger, and also scolded him for his arrogance for failing to secure their traps for the monster. To avoid any more troubles, he orders Aiden to return back to the village and tell everyone to pack up. Later on, Nadia tells Julius that he shouldn't be harsh on Aiden because Aiden was just trying to impress his master just like Julius did when he was little. Aiden also meets with Julius, apologizing for his mistakes and even begs that at least Julius should help lead his villagers to face the elder monster. Julius forgives him, and changes his mind to assist them fight the monster. Fortunately for them, the blacksmith called Ravi meets up with them, revealing to them that he has changed his mind and has decided to assist them fight the elder dragon. Ravi brings his subordinates along with him, and together they are able to produce a super weapon known as a Dragonator, which was made using the body parts of monsters known as the Kongalala and the Deviljo. Once the preparations are complete, the villagers feast and await the siege. Later that night, the elder dragon started to attack the village. Each of the monster hunters started to fight with the elder dragon with the motive of leading it to the weapon Ravi made, so they can get to kill it. But unfortunately, the elder dragon also destroys Ravi's weapon. Ravi then decides to distract the dragon while the others find a way to repair the weapon, but suddenly, the dragon burns Ravi to death. Finally the weapon is repaired, and as they attack it, the monster falls to the ground. Everyone is celebrating thinking they have killed the dragon, but it turns out the dragon didn't die. Julius and the other hunters are really afraid because they are already out of options. This time the dragon became more aggressive than before and killed May and even goes as far destroying the village, with many villagers left injured. As the rest are still fighting the elder dragon, Aiden puts his plan into action by breaking a dam wood, which unleashed large flood in the village and swept away the elder dragon and also puts out the fire in the village. Everyone says their farewell to May and Ravi, who lost their lives trying to protect the village. Suddenly the monster hunters decides to separate from Aiden as they move to different parts of the world, to continue their adventure. Back to the present. Aiden has just finished telling the 5th Fleet monster hunters about his adventures, and funny enough, the young monster hunters still don't believe him and they continue their journey to hunt down an elder dragon. Thank you for watching, guys. If you love animation movies, please subscribe to this channel. And keep watching. Bye.